Hello guys, y'all know who it is? It is Chano, boom boom, El Chago, and I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about, since the Halloween month is right around the corner, I'm going to be giving you 10 movies to watch, 10 horror movies to watch right now. Some of them are on Shudder, some of them are on Netflix. The ones on Shudder are really good, and the ones on Netflix as well. They both have really good horror movies, but I feel like Shudder has way more horror movies than Netflix does, because Shudder is a horror movie app. What we're gonna be doing today, instead of telling you so much about the movie and depending if I spoil it or not, no, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading the descriptions of the movies, and then I'll give you a little bit of the take of my part, and then that's how we're going to go throughout the 10 movies. All right, so let's get started. So the first movie on this list, it is a really good movie. It is a psychological thriller movie, and it is about basically modern day today. It is about a same-sex couple that goes to a small town for a better environment. They go there to live with their 16-year-old daughter, and they just want to have like a better life, you know, since it is hard for the same-sex couples and stuff like that. But then once they get there, there is like a really sinister vibe type of thing. So like, yeah, they start noticing, and then it's a lot of stuff starts happening, and things just get creepier and creepier. You're really gonna enjoy this movie. It does not give you a point where like, oh, I'm bored, let me see what. No, it is gonna have you like up here, and then at the end it might drop you, because you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's the drop that I'm talking about. But the drop to where, oh, I'm bored already, it's not gonna do that. It's not gonna do that. So go ahead and check that movie out. It is called Spyro, and it is a really good movie. I enjoyed it so much, and I did not see anything coming from the movie. So let me know if you like it down in the comments. Also, I will go ahead and leave the description for each and every movie down below. In the description, I will go ahead and leave a trailer for each and every movie. At number 2 is The First. The First is basically about these two friends, which are girls. These two girlfriends, they are abducted, and they are put like in the middle of basically nowhere, like in the woods. But once they wake up, like they wake up and they're like, oh, you know, like, I don't know where I'm at type of deal. But then it gets really creepy, because once they do wake up, they are like, I don't want to give too much about this movie, but let me go ahead and read the description. So it says, Kayla and her best friend are abducted and dumped in the middle of nowhere, together with 5 other girls, becoming unwilling participants of a dangerous game. A game that only one person can win. I cannot tell you so much about this movie because it is going to give it away. But if you do go ahead and check this movie out, I promise you're not going to be bored. You're really going to enjoy it. And this is a movie from Shudder. They have really good movies up in there. Alright, so next movie up on this list is Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a movie that I really enjoyed, but it is a found footage movie. Some people don't like those found footage movie, but I really enjoyed that movie. It is a good horror movie. Let me go ahead and read the description for this movie so I won't give it too much away. American best friends Rachel and Sarah travel to Tel Aviv to have fun. On the flight, they meet Kevin, who invites them to Jerusalem. They accept and check into a hotel owned by Omar. Sarah and Rachel date Kevin and Omar, respectively, and they go to a nightclub together. When they return to the hotel, they find that Jerusalem is under siege. A curfew has been imposed and no one can leave, as they are under attack by demons. This movie blowed my mind because it starts off like a regular old found footage movie, like, oh, they're just having fun, stuff like that. But then once you start seeing the things that start happening with these demons and stuff like that, is like, and the whole story surrounding it, it is really good the way they tell it. Like, it has so many good things up in that movie. So let's go on to another movie. This is also a movie from Shudder. We do have half and half movies from Shudder, half movies from Netflix. So let's go on. So this movie up next is The Howl. The Howl is about werewolves. Young, ambitious ticket collector Joe is overseeing the last train out to London on a dark and stormy night. The usual collection of passengers on board, from the obnoxious teen to the workaholic woman. Suddenly, the train screeches to a halt in the forest after hitting something on the tracks, but after investigating, the driver never returns. This movie, I am telling you, when I tell you that this movie is really good, it is not like any other cheesy, corny, freaking werewolf vampire movie. No, this movie's gonna blow your mind in how good it is. And you're not gonna see a couple of things coming. You're gonna be like, oh. Like, you're gonna be like, oh shit, most of the movie, because it is really good. And it is just an enjoyable movie to watch. And if you're a fan of horror movies, you're gonna like these type of movies. So I've talked about this movie before. It is La Llorona. I've talked about this movie before, but never really made it into a video or a suggestion. But this is La Llorona. This is not the ordinary. This is not the ordinary tale of La Llorona. No. This is basically set in Guatemala. Alma is murdered with her children during a military attack. 30 years later, the general who ordered the genocide is found not guilty, and Alma comes back to the world of the living to torment Enrique, which is the sergeant that didn't get, accused of being guilty. So basically, what he did is he killed the girl, and the girl came back. And the way everything plays out, it is a slow burner, so you have to be patient with it. But it's more like of a psychological thriller, so it's gonna be slow for a little bit. But then once you start like connecting the puzzle together, it is gonna be so damn good and worth your time. I swear. So yeah, check that movie out. On to number 6. At number 6, we have Silent. This is an old movie. I'm pretty sure you've seen it by now, but I barely checked it out not so long ago, like a couple of days ago or a week or so ago. But this is a really good movie. It's about some creatures that suddenly come out of nowhere after they are researching some place or something like that. Let me read a little bit of the description of the movie. So it says, when the world is under attack from terrifying creatures who hunt their human prey by sound, 16-year-old Allie, who has lost her hearing at 13, and her family seeks refuge in a remote haven. But they discover a sinister cult who are eager to explode Allie's hidden senses. So she has hidden senses. I don't know if that's true. Don't want to spoil it for you. But, alright. So yeah, go ahead and check that movie. these movies are pretty good, and that one's on Netflix in case you are interested in watching it. So let's keep on going to the rest of the movies. The next movie on this list, I do not consider it really a horror movie, but it kind of is like a horror movie. It depends on what you classify it under. I just think it's a pretty good movie overall, and it is called The Devil All the Time, starring Tom Holland, the Spider-Man guy. It stars the guy from It, the guy that plays It, Robert Pattinson, the guy that comes out in the Twilight movie. It stars so many other good actors, and it is just overall such a good movie. And let me go ahead and read a little bit more so you can understand what I'm talking about. Sinister characters converge around a young man devoted to protect those he loves. In a post-war backwoods town teeming with corruption and brutality. Alright, so check that movie out. You're not going to regret watching this movie. You do not know what to expect, but once you do see it, you're just like, this is so damn messed up. The Nightcrawler is about journalism. It's about a reporter that can't get a job, and then he sees this car accident, and news reporters rushing to cover the story first and stuff like that. And then he asks them for a job, and they don't want to give him a job, so he decides to go on it and do it on himself. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of the description before I give more away about the movie. So it says, when Lewis, a con man desperate for work, muscles into the world of LA crime journalism, he blurs the lines between observer and participant to become the star of his own story. This movie, it is entertaining to watch, but it's also like a psychological thriller. It depends on what category you put it in, but I do consider it a horror movie from my point of view. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. You're not gonna regret watching that movie. You're gonna see a scene in the movie where he breaks the glass, and that turns out that he actually did it in real life. Like, he wasn't acting. He actually cut his finger, and he cut here. He came out in an interview that he cut it like really bad, and so like the blood you see is actually his blood. All right, so on to the next two movies. The next two movies I haven't watched yet, but I am gonna be watching tonight, which is The Sinister Circle. It is about a psychologist and her son who confront evil forces at the site of a terrible tragedy involving ancestral Ouija board and a demonic secret society. And it is a really scary movie. It is on Netflix. It gives you the heebie-jeebies. I don't know about that, but I'll go ahead and check it out, and I will let you guys know what I think about the movie, if I actually think it's good or not. So these are just like two movies that they recommended to me, and I'm gonna recommend to you, but I'll do a review later on about them. All right, another movie is The Apostle, and this is the final and last movie on this list of 10 horror movies to watch on Netflix. So the last movie is The Apostle. In 1905, on a dangerous mission to rescue his kidnapped sister, tangles with the sinister religious cult on an isolated island. These were 10 movies to watch on Netflix and Shudder right now, in case you are interested in watching any horror movies tonight. I will be bringing even more, so go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more, and just stay tuned because Halloween is around the corner. Alright, so alright, so I'm Chow Chow. See you guys on the next one.